everybody, today is May 1st and I did in fact do a video yesterday. However, it was late and I was tired and it was on a charged topic and I wasn't quite sure how well my video was, and so I decided, you know what, halfway through publishing it I hit cancel and said I would do a new video today, one that's hopefully better and more thought out, and also something where I'd had a little bit of a chance to digest some of the information that I had. So the topic is, or was last night, bias in policing. And that's not actually the title of the class, but that's the essentially what the class was about. And I want to take a moment to recognize that police officers, just like everybody else, the store clerk you meet, your nurse, your doctor, your friend, we all have biases. We're all human beings. And the training was more about the impacts that it has, but more so the impacts it has on us and how we can do it better. And I also want to recognize the fact that there is some sort of systematic, there are impacts on our community and our country on minority groups. And there are a variety of reasons for that, and I wanted to take a moment, recognize that, because that is not the topic of today's video. But I didn't want to sort of make it sound like I was ignoring that, and that I didn't believe that there are biases and that they have impacts on our communities. What I wanted to talk about was one of the studies that they did about bias in policing was they were showing videos to respondents, and there was a white group, not the participants weren't, but they were testing to see how people reacted to white people, how people tested to black people, and a control group. And in this video they found that the people who were exposed to the black to the images related to black people were much more quick to make their decisions, whereas people who were conditioned for white people were much slower to make their decision versus the control group. And so you have the one impact on, you know, your minority and black communities. But what I want to talk about is that impact on the white community, and it's not on the white community, but it's on the police officers. So I brought a guest with me. This is Cookie Monster, and I brought him because he's funny, but he sits in the corner of my couch, and whenever I go to do a video I have to move him out of the way, and so he sort of became that like thing, like, oh, gotta move Cookie Monster. So I decided to just bring Cookie Monster into a video. So this is Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster likes people who like cookies. He does not like people who like donuts, but he's also a cop. So that's Cookie Monster. He'll be my example for this. So Cookie Monster sees a bunch of kids go in, or adults, doesn't matter, go into the donut shop. They come out and then they're loitering, they're drinking, and he stops them and writes them summonses for whatever, doesn't matter. And when he does this, he knows that there are people who like donuts and he does not like donuts. He's biased against them. When he takes their licenses and does all stuff, he uses very good tactics. He gives them their summonses, and it's not necessarily a bad interaction, and everybody goes home safely, and that's okay. It's not good that he had a bias, but he goes home safely. The people go home safely. Cookie might even be nice to them, and they thank him for the summons, but he wrote a summons to them because of their like of donuts, and he used very good tactics, and that leads to a safe outcome. Now, Cookie's out the next night, and he sees people go to the cookie shop. And when he sees them on the same corner, hanging out, drinking, and eating their cookies, he walks up to them, and he's like, hey guys, what kind of cookies are they? Where'd you get them? These are my favorite cookies, and they're having a nice chat about how great the cookies are. He doesn't write them summonses, even though they're doing the same thing as the donut lovers. But what he doesn't know is, while he and the cookie eaters may have something in common about cookies. The cookie eaters do not like cops, and they don't like him hanging out on their corner, blowing up their spot. So they attack Cookie. Rah! Sorry, Cookie. And what they found is that this white bias actually puts the police officers in danger because they're putting their guard up with the people that they're biased against and being much easier on the people that they're not biased against. And that is opening them up to danger. And while I understood the issue with the donut eaters, it never occurred to me the danger that police officers put themselves in with this anti-bias or this counter-bias or this I don't need to be biased, they're my friends. And that is, as a person, to see that my bias hurts other people, but then seeing that danger that it puts me in, it tenfolds the impact of bias. And while this class happened to be about police officers, the lesson is that we all do this. We're all human beings. We have, we had a bad interaction. We saw a story on Starbucks in the news, and now when we walk into Starbucks, we're looking for that negative interaction. Or we hear about a cop who did something great for somebody, and when we run into another cop, we think that they're the same, and they're not. And we walk into every interaction we have with a bias into it. And the first part of dealing with that is recognizing your bias so that you're aware of it, and when an interaction goes one way or another, you can more quickly pivot to change how that interaction is going. So when you start to see the cookie eaters get a little more on guard, you go, maybe these aren't my friends. Maybe I'm bringing in a bias about their cookies, and maybe now I need to adjust my tactics. Or when you start talking to the donut people, you go, oh my God, they're really nice. Maybe I should ask them about if they like cookies too, and tell them where the cookie shop is. And you change the conversation, and the first piece of that is recognizing that you have that bias and that you're bringing it in. So that is today's video. It's also yesterday's video, and it's long enough to cover as 2 videos, so I feel okay about it. But I don't know, it's a nice day. Maybe I'll have another video later today. Who knows? I surprise myself sometimes. So thanks for listening, and actually, thanks for watching. And I'll see you again